Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Standardbred retraining series where we're following my new horse Alfredo as he transforms from a racehorse to a riding horse. In the last episode, I backed Fredo for the very first time at my farm and he handled it like a pro. But when I took him out the next day to ride around in my dry lot, he was still very good, but I could feel some tension. When I sat on him in the barn, he was perfectly content to stand, but outside in the open, when I asked him to start moving, he really wanted to keep moving. So anytime I brought him to a halt, he would pause and then immediately walk off again. On this morning, Alfredo was actually having a hard time standing at the mounting block quietly for me to get on. So even though I'd already backed him, it's important to reinforce good habits, so I spent about 10 minutes just putting weight in the saddle, tapping the saddle, just acting like I was backing him for the first time again. Then when he stood quietly and calmly, I felt like I was comfortable to get on and get to work. Just a reminder that whenever we're working with a green horse, even if I had planned to go through and work on something completely different, it's always a good idea to reinforce the basic building blocks. So once I've gotten on, I will walk off and then ask him to stop and stand and just take stock of what our starting point feels like and how long he feels comfortable standing before he fidgets and walks off again. I am not trying to force him to stand right now. I feel that it would be more beneficial to help him work through his anxiety before I start insisting that he stands. So I'm going to do everything that I can to help him relax. When we're walking, I'm keeping my seat really soft, I'm keeping my hands soft, and I'm gonna chit chat with him or sing to him as he's walking around. To do a good boy. The attitude on the track is a lot more businesslike than most pleasure riders, so they get hitched up and they walk off. There's not a lot of milling about or loitering. He's still learning the expectations around his new career. He doesn't realize that sometimes when we ride, we do just want to stop and stand. Adding on to that, he still seems to be internalizing some mild anxiety just about having a rider on his back, which is making him a little extra antsy and less interested in standing still. Because I think this is more about tension and just a lack of understanding, my solution is not to insist that he stop and stand, but rather to help him relax first. With both my Standardbreds and Thoroughbreds, I find allowing them to move their feet can help them relax. So while it might seem counterintuitive, the key to getting him to stand still is going to be allowing him to walk a bit, just not picking a fight with him and showing him what I want. I don't think this behavior is Alfredo being a belligerent horse, just a horse who's anxious to do his job. So again, I'm going to be quiet and kind with him and just slowly ramp up the expectations. Eventually, I will get to the point where I try to either intercept him before he tries to walk off or really insist that he stops and stand. But at this point in time, I don't think that would give him the fun and positive ideas about riding that I'm trying to instill in him. For my green horses, I'm looking for progress, not necessarily perfection. And I did feel that Alfredo improved pretty significantly from the beginning of the ride until the end. But this is something that I'm going to have to keep working at with Alfredo. It's just something that I found with my other horses tends to get better with time. The more you ride them, the more you make it a relaxing experience, the more they understand that sometimes you just stand around and that that's the new deal. It's just not what they're used to, but they'll figure it out quick enough. My other takeaways while I was riding him is that he probably needs to work more on bending and moving off of the leg. So that's probably what we'll work on the next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow along with Alfredo's journey, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.